so far as to call it
the worst cyber espionage incident
hacks in US
on what's being called one of the worst cyber hacks in history.
We are under attack, and this is a big deal. China is taking over our cellular infrastructure. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Safety is an Illusion podcast. Today we're talking about the recent hacks and the attacks on our communication systems. It's so bad that even the government is telling us that we shouldn't be using text messages. We should be using encrypted texting services now. They're going through and they're collecting massive amount of data. And they're collecting your data. They're learning everything about you and about the American people. They're getting tons of sensitive information, which I believe is only the first step of what is about to come. So what's going to happen, what I'm telling you is going to happen, is that you're going to have network blackouts soon. So it's going to start up by recon. They're going to do a reconnaissance. They're going to gather whatever information they can. They're going to make copies of it. They're going to do everything they can to make sure they get that data and keep that data. Because once they have it, they have it. I mean, after that, they can do whatever they want with the infrastructure. So the next step would be the blackouts. So they're still inside these servers. They can't get them out. They've burrowed their ways in ways that we don't know how to get them out. And this is because of very lax and poor business practices, and you should be getting mad about this yourself. These billion-dollar companies need to be held accountable. They make so much money, and they're never proactive, but they're always reactive, and they always depend on the government or whatever entity to bail them out. We need to stop this. We need to make sure these companies, by law, need to have the latest and greatest equipment, as well as better security practices, because we can't afford to keep having incidents like this happen. And I think it's already too late. They're already in our networks. They're burrowing their ways in. They're making copies of themselves. And with AI and the technology that's already out today, it's already too late. And it's aggravating because this could have been prevented if they just did common practices. Right now, basically what happened was there's some outdated cell equipment, routers, etc. that they found ways into the system. Now they're in the system, they're just locking themselves in, and they can't get out, and we don't know what to do. So as for someone that understands and studies cybersecurity and sees how these bad actors act, there's a habit and there's a thing that usually they do. The first step is they gather information, they embed themselves, even sometimes they lie dormant, but they're in there now. So they're gathering information, they're taking everything they can get in. The next step is the blackouts. So we know that China, we're not really good, we don't have good relations. So, and then they're really trying to get into Taiwan. So what I see happening soon is these network blackouts. They're coming. They're going to be, because they're making copies of the data right now, they're gathering any information they can, and then once they have it, they can do whatever they want. So I already said that earlier, but I really want to emphasize, like, the next step, if these bad actors act the way they usually act, which I'm pretty sure they're creatures of habit, the next step would be blackouts. So they're going to take down some cell networks. They're going to attack us where it really hurts. They're going to block communications, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's tons of vulnerable infrastructure out there when it comes to the cell grids and our power grids. We're very behind. We're too worried about fighting other wars and all this other stuff. We don't focus on the real things that matter, the American safety and cybersecurity. Like, I don't understand why we're so lax about cybersecurity. If we have armored trucks carrying money around, we need to have the same kind of mentality when it comes to cybersecurity. It's not this joke anymore. This is life and death situations. This is communication. These are people's lifelines in danger. So, and we're prepared on this channel. So I talked about this before. I theorized about foreign entities getting into our systems, getting into the internet, taking down our communication systems, or blocking or monitoring and stuff. I said even AI could do that one day. They can go rogue and do the same thing. But this is a real life scenario. This is happening now. We talked about this many times on my channel. And I'm trying to show you guys the importance of dark web communications. We don't have any actors or anybody. You have to trust any third parties about your communications. It's your own server or your own communication. Something that you could trust that's off the grid and also encrypted. Meshtastic, using radios, using the tech gadgets that I have, where we're learning to build our own little cell phone infrastructures using Meshtastic devices. Like, these are valuable skills that we might have to use soon. Like, you understand, like, they're telling us not to use our phones. Like, this is a serious problem, and they have no solution for it. The people are supposed to protect us are saying, hey, just don't use it right now because we can't stop it. That's kind of scary. It's a scary place to be. And we allowed this to happen. So the blackouts, when it comes to networks, is coming. So it's going to be, they're going to start attacking things at certain times. I think they're waiting for the new administration to get in before they do any heavy attacking. But we're actually at war. This is one of the worst attacks, cyber attacks in history. This is a big deal. And it's like not being talked about that much. They're trying to keep it like, oh, don't worry about it. Like this is a big deal. It's so bad. When's the last time you heard the government say, hey, go use encrypted services because we don't know what to do? Like, this is scary. So, and it's already too late. I mean, I just think it's too late. The whole system's too late. So we need to start adapting better security practices. You should be using end-to-end encryption communication. If that's, like for me, if I had to give you guys some examples of survivor now. So again, we're going to be getting into tech survival in 2025 on my channel, but we might have to start a little earlier. So, with that said, Meshtastic, building your own cellular networks, and getting into radios, because radios they're working when cell towers go down. You can have radio encrypted channels. You have encrypted channels when it comes to Meshtastic. You can have dark web communications. You can use Onion Share, and even if you can use some email services like Proton too. Proton has encrypted services end to end. You just have to send emails instead of using the cell towers. But regardless, like this is a big deal. I need you guys to understand, like, this is just the beginning of what's coming. We're in a cybersecurity war. Like, that's the new digital threat. I mean, the new threat is digital. Like, this is the AI race too is another scary avenue. But we're under attack right now, and it's something that we need to take into consideration, and we need to start locking down and protecting ourselves, because it's not much we can do because it's already too late. But they're already in our systems. So if you're texting somebody from an Android phone, from an iPhone, the two different phones, those text messages aren't encrypted. They're working on a fix for that, but it's too late. That stuff's already compromised. And I don't understand. I don't believe they only have so much limited access. I believe they have everything. I think that they locked everything out, and it's at a point where no one knows their next move. So that's why I think what's next is the blackouts. And they're going to come at strategic times where either A, they're going to go invade or do something when it comes to Taiwan, or as soon as the other new administration gets in, they're going to throw a monkey wrench into everything and some kind of, who knows. So you just need to prepare yourself for off-grid communications. You need to come up with a plan. If phones were to go down, you guys tell your family, okay, if our phones go down, we're going to meet up at this place, or have some kind of plan in place so you guys know what to do when the communication systems go down. Because I'm telling you, what would be the next step? Gathering information, step 1. Copying the information, step 2. Step 3, analyze it. And step 4, hold it ransom or blackouts. They have full control. And the whole thing with TikTok getting banned and it's coming up too, that whole thing, I think it's all pieces of the puzzle. They're trying to dig themselves deep into something. So I just really, I'm like, part of me is a little bit like not happy about it, but like, this is the stuff I've been talking about and preaching on this channel for a while, that this stuff could happen, and we're seeing it live. So, got to be careful. We need to be holding these companies accountable. We need to really change the rules and how we do things in the industry here, because this is unacceptable. These are people's lives. This is our privacy. This is everything. They're taking everything from us. And believe me, they have the money they lock it down. They're just being ignorant, and it's complete negligence on their part. So that's where we're at. So remember, safety is an illusion. This is a very interesting time to be alive right now. We're witnessing one of the biggest attacks in history when it comes to cybersecurity on our country, and I have an idea what's next, but I'm honestly afraid. Come up with a plan, sharpen your tech survival skills, and remember, safety is an illusion. I'll see you in the next podcast.